Hello, fire signs. This is your Gemini full moon card reading. So this is for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, right? Yeah. I was thinking earlier and I was like, Leo, Sagittarius. Oh, Aries. Who can forget an Aries? So this card reading is going to be a little different than the other card readings I've done because this is a video versus a post. So you get me live and animated and being the weirdo that I am. You're welcome. So I'm going to be using two different decks today for this reading. The primary reading is going to be done with the Osho Zen Tarot deck, which is one of my favorites for reading for folks. It's going to be a 5-card reading. I will go through each card and what it means, as well as kind of explain the message around that card. I might give you some handy little coaching tips, as well as just whatever insight kind of drops in. It's probably going to be a lot of weird analogies. You're welcome. And then the other card is coming from the Wild Offerings Oracle deck that I super love, and I've used it before. So if you have seen any of my posts, then you have seen that deck. So let's get started. The first card is going to be the issue that the reading kind of revolves around, maybe the issue that you're dealing with. So the card is Four of Fire. And just FYI, with 2020 coming, if you're into numerology, 2020 is a 4-year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 is 4. You guys are fire signs. This is the Four of Fire. I like it. So the card is participation. So when we look at this card, there's 4 people. I mean, they kind of look like weird kind of aliens if you're into Prometheus and like Alien Covenant. To me, that's what they look like. But you can see that like they've all got their hands kind of together in this circle. They're trying to participate in something together in a joint venture, trying to, I don't know if you can see that for each of them, one hand is up and one hand is down. I know it's really hard to see that, but essentially they are sitting, they've all got their hands in and their hands are like this. So the meaning, symbolism, energetics of this is the hand that is down is taking, the hand that's up is giving. It might be vice versa, but still, like there's a balance between like what they want to take and what they want to give. So you're coming into a time when you are learning how to play well with others, or you're experiencing some conflict with getting along with a team, a group, participating in that group. And so the issue is really in learning how to do that. How to come together with other people to get things done, to get what you need, to be heard, to take action. The Fire card is, it compares to the Suit of Wands, which is an action card. So that's what the rest of the reading is going to revolve around, is this lesson of learning how to participate with others, or how to resolve any kind of participation team dynamics, working together stuff. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So the next card is the unseen influence. It's the internal influence that you are not aware of. And the card is sorrow. So it's the 9 of mind, which is like the 9 of Swords card. 9 is the number of completions in numerology, but like we can see this guy's super, super upset. He's just like real Yeah, he's really sad. And he's really like consumed by this sorrow, by this grief. Like his mind is consumed with it. And so the thing that you are not aware of is that there might have been something that happened before with being part of a group, interacting with a group. Like it feels like there's unresolved stuff. Like there's like some kind of hurt that happened the last time you had to rely on a group. It's not safe, can't trust people. And being that this is a cloud card, a mind card, that old mindset is possibly not accurate in this situation. So sometimes we get into, just like we develop like physical habits, maybe like waking up the same time of the day or like getting into a routine, our mindset can become habitual. And so if you have suffered with a lot of grief, sorrow, sadness, pain, difficulty in working with other people and trying to get along with others, like this card is coming up to bring your attention to that mindset that are you falling back into the past when you're working with teams in this current time? Because the thing with this mindset card is that like our thoughts are not always reality. So sometimes our perception of things, like what we think, is not always 100% what's happening. That like we might have old trauma that gets triggered, that gets brought up by something that looks familiar. So it's kind of like when I was like 21, I had this amazing car. It was like super sweet. Acura Integra. It was 4 doors. It had leather. It was like the nicest car I had ever owned. And I was driving back from the nail shop because I just got my nails done. And it was like a couple days before my birthday. And I got hit by a minivan that was trying to make a left turn, but they didn't have the green arrow. It was a green light, so they were just like, you know, kind of trying to make a run for it. And I like could see the van, like it lurched forward, and I was just like, this is not happening. And so hit, spun out. It's really bad. So obviously I survived because I'm still here. But after that accident, like I kind of never gotten over it. I don't like minivans. I just don't. I also have a general distrust of people driving minivans. Like not to you personally if you drive a minivan, but when I'm driving, if there's a minivan, I'm like, I don't know about you. I don't know. I had bad experiences. So essentially like that's what I'm talking about. Minivan sorrow. No. That we can have trauma that happens and it affects our mindset, where our mind automatically goes to minivan drivers are not safe drivers, or this minivan's gonna hit me, or like, oh, minivan bad. My apologies if I offended anybody that drives a minivan. Make sure you don't hit people in cars. But so I say all that to say that sometimes we can get stuck in a rut with our mindset. So if you have some trauma, if you have some difficult things that have happened around teamwork, and you find yourself kind of falling into this like negative, sad space, you're being called to look at that. So the external influence that you are aware of regarding like teamwork participation is the integration card. There's a lot going on here. Ooh, there's a lot. This is really a card of like duality, yin and yang. Let me see, where is it? Like sun and moon, fire, water, even the face. Let me see if I can zoom in. It's essentially like two faces. So like this blue face is like someone's profile, and then this is like half of like the face that's facing forward. So integration is also balance. Teamwork is about balance. Teamwork is about getting to a place that everyone is able to give and take equally, that everyone is able to show up equally. I think everybody's worked in a team, and you know, like everybody doesn't show up the same way. Like you have some people that are talkers. You have some people that are the doers. You have some people that kind of push the project along. You have some people that want to kind of refine things a little bit. So each person brings something different to the team, but when you can integrate all parts into one, then there's a balance, there's a wholeness, there's a productivity, there's positivity, there's really good things that come from that. So you are in a place that you understand the value of working with a team, you understand the benefits of working with a team, you understand how it's beneficial to you to work with a team. You know, we all have the capacity to be mirrors for each other if we're open to receive what people are reflecting back to us. So when we isolate ourselves, we are not always an accurate reflection to ourselves of what is happening. We can get caught up in our mindset that this is how it is, this is exactly what's going on. But when we have someone else around us, they can reflect back, you know, the lightness when we only see dark. You know, they can remind us that like the light is coming even when we're in a dark place. So you're aware that there is value to teamwork, that there is value to interacting with others. So the thing that you need to understand to get to the resolution is when you're working with a team, sometimes you little fire signs have to go with the flow. That you don't get to always be the center of attention, that you don't always get to be the boss, that you don't always get to be center stage. And that sometimes going with the flow means that you kind of disappear a little bit, that you blend into your surroundings. For like my Leos, I know that's hard. I know you guys aren't gonna like that. For my Aries, like I know you know the best way, you know how to be the boss. Why do you have to go with the flow? Why? They need you to lead. Not right now. Sorry. Sagittarius says, I don't feel like you guys are going to struggle with this. You guys have that optimism that like, it's okay if I take a back seat. Like, I'm just going to go with the flow. It's all good. So learning how to relax into the situation of participating with a team, that's really, really what you guys need to get to the resolution. So the resolution is, it's going to sound worse than it is. The laziness card. So this is the 9 of water, which is 9 of cups, 9 of emotion. And laziness is kind of, it's kind of misleading with this card, in my opinion. So I feel like a better explanation of this is complacency. So you might have felt like you know everything you need to know, learn everything you needed to learn, and that you're good, but you're not where you need to be yet. And so that is the understanding about this whole participation teamwork thing, is that you have another level to go to. Like there's bigger things you need to be doing. So for a little while you've been hanging out, fuzzy slippers, comfy robe, drinking your cocktail, soaking up the sun. But what you're going to, or what you are, I feel like you are becoming aware of, is that this little fantasy that you've kind of bought into is cracking. that there's so much more way out here in the distance. Like there's more to do. This isn't your final destination. Like you haven't landed. This is not the end. It feels really positive. Like I don't feel like you're going to be disappointed to know that like there's still more to do. There's still somewhere else to go. It's not that there's more to do, like, oh, you have to do more work, you have to dig in. Like where you are, what you're experiencing, like this is not, like this is a rest stop on the journey. So you still have somewhere else that you need to be. It's going to be way better. Yeah, and it's like the cracked mirror, the cracked glass. You're very aware that like this is not where you want to be. This is not where you would choose to end up, if that makes sense. And like I mentioned, I think I mentioned, 9 is the number of completions. Like 9 is the number of accomplishments. So whatever cycle got you to this place where you're like, I'm just gonna rest, I'm gonna chill out, I'm gonna hang out, that's done. And I think that cracked mirror, the cracked glass, is you understanding like, like it's time to move on. It kind of feels like the way that I've seen in movies. I've never experienced this for myself because I'm not a big fan of cold weather. In the movies, if you want a good scary movie, in my opinion, there's like ghost stuff. I Can Still See You. Anyway, so there's a scene, it's a wintertime movie, but they're on the ice and it starts cracking, you know, and so it's making that scary ice cracking noise that ice always makes in movies or TV shows. Like I said, I don't know from personal reference, you know, I don't want to know. But like when you hear that cracking, like the instinct of whoever's there is to get off the ice. So that's kind of what this is signifying. Like, hey, things are cracking, things are falling apart. It's time to go. Time to pull chocks, get out of there. So that is your Gemini full moon card reading. The wild offering card that I pulled for you guys is, it's a good one, abundance. So it says, divine beloved, please show me how to feel fully deserving to receive. I release my ego's plan and open to being a vehicle for abundance. That's nice. Who doesn't want abundance? So this is the card. If you would like pictures of the cards, feel free to DM me. Let me know. Let me know what you thought of the reading. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did it resonate? Was it weird? Do I talk too much? I mean, you can tell me if I talk too much, but I'm not going to stop talking. I mean, at this point in my life, I've been talking my whole life. But let me know what you thought of the card reading. Leave me a comment. Yeah, and just let me know. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.